Hello, and welcome to another Wargame Red Dragon cast with me, Rangru. This is another match from the Wargame Bootcamp Elite Tournament. And well, today on Punjing Valley, left hand side in blue, we have Okey dokey playing as a pure French deck. And on the right hand side, we have EsMussSein playing as a Yugo-Czech alliance. And right off the bat, we are seeing a mirage in the sky. And yeah, pretty standard deployment, all in all. I mean, it's a very weird map, as I usually find that the flanks can either be really hectic or very quiet. It's either you push the flanks or you push pretty heavy in the center, trying to go through this absolute hell of a forest, which is a huge natural barrier. But we're seeing a very early mortar play here from Okey dokey, going to be dropping in some smoke so he can get his French troops up into the front line. As EsMussSein is setting up some defenses with some recon troops, M84 reconnaissance tank, and a little bit of AA. Yeah, just pretty standard deployment, seeing a very early Crotal. Got the T-72 Moderna heading down south. And the smoke did manage to allow the Commando Marines to get a little bit close, but I can't even bloody say that name. The Prusikomunchis on a pretty good defensive position. They're now starting to get blasted a bit by 20 mils, but there we go. The Commandos are stunned, and EsMuss is going to be able to keep hold on that town. Well, it's such a factory complex. I've seen a bit of infantry push in the centre here. The Proletaries running some Rima 85s. We've got more Yugo reinforcements being brought in. And that should be enough to probably turn the tide here. I've seen good mortar play coming in. And also here the Clerk, so we've got some pretty heavy armour early on. I wonder if we're going to see the Clerk and Moderna go at it. Dragging a pretty sneaky, oh no, not super sneaky, but defensive position, trying to kill the sneaky AMXs as they try to get some flanking hits. And right, they're not going to be doing much flanking anymore. The mortars are getting some good stunning hits on this Yugo infantry blob. But not really enough to really stop his advance, and this will allow Asus to get a small foothold into Delta. And it's a very important foothold, because if you can capture just even this side of the forest, you can at least keep it neutralized. That's a +2 sector. And as you may notice on this map, there's not really many sectors to have under your control. And this is really the only one for your opponent, in this case for EsMussSein's opponent, to hold on to that important +2. This is a really nasty position he has Okey dokey in. And he's bringing in some infantry reinforcements. And recon to try and clear things out. And also moving up the mortar. Which is definitely a good call. We do have mortar from EsMuss. I don't even know if I'm saying that correctly. I'm just going to call him Sein actually. He's dropping in some smoke it seems. Maybe he's going to try to do a push, or I think he's just trying to block line of sight. There we go, he's moving up his recon troops into his forest. So you can get a little bit better reconnaissance optics, which is a very good call. Just make sure to turn off the weapons. Yeah, let's check recon troops are absolutely fantastic. I mean, I do lose out on a machine gun, but you get an all-important sniper rifle on a 10-man squad. Making them a very survivable sniper squad, all things considering. And arguably, I think the Dragunov does have a bit of better DPS, especially at long range compared to an MG. We are seeing smoke here from Okey dokey, trying to cover his Rimas. But didn't really do too much to actually cover the advance. Mechanized infantry, get completely shredded here by the Rima 85s. The Commando Marines don't want to go on the other side of that forest. as they just got lit up by light armored cars. Oh, we got a bit of heavy artillery here. We got some Plamen MLRS getting some very good stun and hits on the infantry in general. And Okey dokey not fully committing to his push, but he got the Panther here giving some very useful fire support and moving up the Leclerc a little bit. Even got the Commando Paras behind enemy lines. Getting some very good reconnaissance. He should be able to spot this T-72 Moderna eventually, as it seems like he's going to be moving it into a more aggressive position to try and contest Delta. And the Reamer 85s on the Mini-Me's and FAMASs are pretty nasty units. Even got some Legions as well. Moderna does spot the Commando Paras. They get one unsuccessful rocket shot off. There's not going to be many Commandos anymore. There we go, we do get the capture here on Delta. We also got the capture on Alpha, so bringing it back to a 0-0. Sign was having a pretty decent point advantage for a little bit, yeah. I'm wondering if we're going to see anything being brought out onto the flanks in terms of command vehicles. That'd really be the next step in escalating the conflict. Reamer 85's trying to get some rocket hits on the Modernas, but a Moderna has rather thick frontal armor of 21. So you're going to need something a little bit more heavy duty like an Eric's, for example. I can definitely go with Moderna in a few hits. I was going to run into the Proletaries and, well, they outnumber the Legions. They're not really much of a Legion if it's just 8 guys. Yeah, the Clerk, probably a good idea to pull back considering that he has no actual reconnaissance covering him. And there's a MLRS, bit overkill for just one squad, but, and also mainly hitting, yeah, really hitting his own guys, yeah. We got some, yeah, we got heavy duty Caesar artillery here. Gonna be using that to try and batter the Proletaries. And really both sides. I mean, it's a Wargame match. Need to just, I'm trying to think of the words. Commit more infantry to the center, as this is where the hot point is. You're now seeing some fire support AML-60s. Always such an odd unit, AML-60. Tiny little fire support tank. Or car, I should say. So, and it's just so cute. Looks like something you'd see in a cartoon. Like a cartoon depiction of an APC. The Caesar's just given constant barrages. Really forcing the Proletaries to think twice about moving into Delta. Got the run Vab over here. All leads it up. Trying to do some flanking maneuver. Probably going to get spotted. Before you can, you know, actually get a CV sniper. Actually, I'd say CV's right in the open, but it is actually covered by the, this is a very interesting spot, because it is out in the open, but it's covered by the ridge. So anything coming from the southern side won't be able to really see it, but, you know, if anything sneaks from north and get into a tree line, be clear as day where the CV is. You are seeing that infantry reinforcements I was talking about earlier. Moderna getting into a more aggressive position, so we might see a heavy tank on heavy tank fight. The AML is just given rapid fire support, yeah. Especially in a more infantry-focused fight such as this, it definitely help out. But of course, Sein will respond in kind to MLRS. Oh, very inaccurate MLRS, of course. Yeah, those AMLs are just on point. Roto hitting the MI-17 before it can even get close. Yeah, still even Stevens in terms of, actual points. But the main thing, of course, is that Sein is really keeping on the pressure. He's really forcing the fight around Delta rather than trying to force it onto Alpha. To be fair, on this map, I would have to say Sein does have a slight map advantage. Because, I mean, Delta's right in the forest, which makes it pretty easy to fight over. Where fighting over Alpha is a goddamn pain in the ass, because it's just completely surrounded by open fields. You just stick some ATGM troops in the town and away you go. Or away the enemy tanks will go if they try to get close, it is. Farmers is given constant rocket barrage shots. Trying to counter battery the AMLs. Only doing too much damage overall. Mainly just stressing things out. And I'd be stressed out if I was hit by an MLRS barrage. Especially if I wasn't prepared. That's something I'd want a 5-minute run in at least so I can get out in the area. I've seen some Chasseurs, but they're Moderna, man. Real scary tank just because of her autocannon. Yeah, Okey dokey, getting more aggressive with Clark, moving it out in the open now. And he's starting to take the fight over to Sein. There's still a lot of Ego infantry in here, and more coming, including an M84, which could... I mean, this is the stealth tank. Could easily get a side shot onto the Clerk, and that would be pretty deadly. It's a pretty nasty tank for what it is. Who are in the crappy helicopter, or the not so crappy APC? The not so crappy APC Ranger, and the M84. Yeah, if he can move it, even just into his forest here, he can just shoot any reinforcements coming in. And of course, the TM84, it's not going to get spotted when it shoots. There's that reconnaissance mechanic. I always like to imagine that, all the reconnaissance vehicles, when they shoot, they just have a massive suppressor on the end of their guns, which is why they're not seen. Like, I'm just a massive tank suppressor. Yeah, Sein is... He's been pushed back a little bit, but he's still holding on pretty well. He has many more reinforcements, including... Oh, he's got quite a few CVs. Oh, he moved one out of Alpha, or he got killed. Anyway, he's moving the CV into Alpha and getting another CV. Maybe the Fog Shot? If he's ballsy, he might put it on Delta, but looking at the current situation, that's not a good CV territory. Not exactly prime real estate for someone in the Yugoslav or Czech Republics in this time. If they were republics. Yeah, M84 just being absolutely a pain in the arse here. In Infinite Seas, it just kills. Then I've got the Tigra. Almost dying, yeah. Something you really don't want to die. It's a pretty costly... Yeah, like a decently costly helicopter. But Leica's also in a very nice ambush position with their recoilless rifles. M84 are going to run to Commander Marines, and M84 is M84, he doesn't care. Shoot whatever comes towards him. I'd be interested to see if we actually see any more play on the flank. So I think for Okey dokey, like he needs to secure Delta, and that is exactly what he's almost done at this point. But he really wants to really have a good chance of actually gaining territory. It's really going to be more about attacking the flanks rather than, let's say, just trying to move straight into Alpha. And it does seem like Sein is going to go for the ballsy maneuver of the T-72, maybe, and try to get it onto Delta when the opportunity arises. But It doesn't seem to be the case. There's a few French infantry in here, and they're pretty angry to see any red fall. Oh, the BVP did knock out Legion. Decisive's getting in close, and managed to get the kill. I think this is a bit more downtime. Both sides is getting reinforcements, doing a little bit of artillery barrages. And all the infantry down south are just dying here. Which one will die first? I thought that was run, it's at scene 11. But probably a proletaries in that engagement. Ares balls out one guy. He's going to be leading the charge all by himself. I think the Caesar's trying to snipe the Sava. But not really hitting anywhere. It's pretty even Stevens in terms of points. It's really going to come down to the flanks. For Sein, he really should just think about, you know, screw Cap and Delta, just get a T-72 CV on a flank. You can at least be getting a nice +1 point advantage, and he also has 2 CVs in Alpha. He's really racing his CV potential, I think. You can put T-72 up north, or I'd put T-72 down south. Well, you put the CV somewhere, because this is points that he's missing out right now. He spent the money getting those CVs, but he's not getting his return investment. And as you can see, Okey Dokey is going to be capturing the Foxtrot area. Yeah, the infantry CV in Foxtrot are a real pain in the ass to find when you have an entire town to play hide and seek. Yeah, to speed things up a bit, as it's really just reinforcements being brought in. There's not really too much to say here. We got 2 Leclercs actually in the center. Previous one been refitted. It seems like Okey's going to be doing a Leclerc push. No recon or lots of infantry backing him up. Fortunately, there's no rocket launcher infantry in this forest. There you go, runs into a little bit of resistance. You know, Leclercs are super heavies, they don't really care. I mean, the M84, scary as it is, in a straight up fight, not going to be doing too much. He's going to be pulling it back, and rightfully so. And then Okey Dokey getting that just nice +1 point advantage all due to Foxtrot. You're finally seeing the CV being brought into Foxtrot here, but I think Sein just brought a second, like another CV to go into here rather than using some of his current available runs. So he is finally making the play. The T-72 is beating around all this time, and now he's going to try and neutralize Delta, and that should definitely bring things back into his favour. It's going to be a very tough hold, because it should be very obvious where the CV is roughly located. And there's a Caesar artillery piece, and that doesn't mess about. Even against tanks, it can do some decent damage. I think he managed to kill one of the Leclercs there with the airplane. I didn't exactly catch that, but anyway, it's one less Leclerc. Here we go, CV's neutralized, and that's going to give Sein the +2. Neutralizing Foxtrot as well. This really puts the pressure on Okey dokey. Because he needs to pretty much spend all his forces trying to recapture Delta entirely. He's bringing in a lot of reinforcements. He just needs to have that constant artillery barrage really on the area. Try and soften things up. Comes the Super Galab once again. Going in for a super kill on the Clerk, and rest of the Clerk, it's gone. And yeah, it was a pretty big loss just losing both the Clerks, and he hasn't managed to even kill the Moderna. We've got legions coming through, trying to clear the forest. The artillery's getting some decent hits. But there's also quite a bit of an artillery on Sein's side. Yeah, it's trying to smoke out the drug here. I'm still really surprised, right? I think he just forgot he has 2 CVs in Alpha, because he can move another one onto Bravo, and that'd be a +3. That's pretty much a guaranteed win at that point. Maybe he just wants to have double insurance in case he loses running Alpha to artillery. The Okey dokey's having a hell of a time pushing to Delta. He has cleared a decent amount of the forces, but he still has to kill a T-72 command tank, because he doesn't really have much the infantry of decent anti-tank, of course. But he has to get them close to begin with. Yeah, it does have the attack helicopter. We can get eyes on. Oh, look, the Salva's in a pretty sneaky position. Saint Salva's gonna guide the missiles and... Oh, no, there we go, actually. Managing to get the kill. Before he gets destroyed in the Tigra. Is he gonna kill the T-72? Gets in close and gets a hit. He needs one more hit, though. And a Moderna of its autocannon does not care for helicopters. And we've got the BVP on the flank here trying to get some ATGM shots. But not succeeding all that well with only those Maluka rockets. Or rockets, missiles. And the ad's meant to bring it back to an even Stevens. But Sein is in a quite of a bit of a point lead. I feel like this is going to come down to the Clerk and Moderna fight, and knowing previous experiences, this is going to come down to the Super Galeb which comes in. Like right now, yeah, look at that. Oh, it's 2 Leclercs, but okay, he loses line of sight since he's going to bug out. But there's not much anti yet, well there's Rosacrotal, but he was in smoke and couldn't see. And he's also going to run into a rocket launcher. So we won't be seeing much of anything. Oh yes, he does escape from being kaboomed. And the BVP almost getting that Tigra, but running out of ammunition. He only has a missile to his name. Probably wishes he could trade in that missile for just another 30 or 40 autocannon shots to finish off that helicopter. Here come the 2 Leclercs. With no infantry support backing them up. Yeah, It's not looking good. Unfortunately, Leclerc is not a Madonna, so it doesn't just immediately shoot down helicopters. When it's 50 cal machine guns, it does take a while. Now, I think at this point it's pretty clear to see that EsMussSein has got the victory by, you know, a good 1,000-point lead. Yeah, he just had a very good, you know, offensive into Delta. Definitely, once again, that map definitely favors his side a little bit more, as it's easier to push into Delta than it is into Alpha. And also, just like playing a plain friend stack isn't as meta, of course, compared to the You Go Check meme machine, but he did hold his own pretty well. I think he needed a bit of a better anti-aircraft net to keep his Galebs at bay, some more heavier radar AA. Yeah, and probably playing a little bit more on the flanks. That's definitely one of the better opportunities for him to try and get the point lead in his favour. But yeah, really good match from both sides. Once again, fantastic play. I mean, as we're seeing in all these replays I've been casting for Wargame, there's been really good use of smoke, and I love it. I absolutely love it. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say for this replay. So it has been another Rangru cast. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and as usual, please just take it easy.